All right, number 21. Line L is shown in the standard XY coordinate plane below. Alicia drew line P with a slope that's half of line L. Right, so whatever L is, I don't see P, but I know that P has a slope that's half. So I'm going to look for the slope. And a y-intercept that's 3 times the y-intercept of line L. Okay, so I know I can look at line L here, and I know the slope is rise over run. So if I kind of like just draw this point here, I can see that it goes up 1 over 1. Right, so this would be a slope of 1 over 1, or just 1. Right, so if P has a slope that's half of that, then half of 1 is just 1/2. So in my answer choices, I want to look for something that is half of the slope. Right, so it's not going to be, that would be like 1, not that, not -3, not 3. It's not, doesn't say anything about being -1/2, but like maybe I'll leave that one here. This one I think is going to be my best option, but, well, and then they both have 6 here, right? So even though it says like 3 times the y-intercept, so this one has a y-intercept at 2, right? So that times 3 would be 6. It doesn't say anything about being negative, and so I know that it must be E. Right? So this one, they even like tried to trick us a little bit, but as soon as we can multiply the 2 times the 3, right, that's going to tell us that it's 6. So it wouldn't be this one, still wouldn't be that one, still wouldn't be this one. The thing to remember here is that mx plus b, this here is your slope. That's what you're looking at. And this is your y-intercept. Right, so you can see those things throughout. Number 22 is next. It says, 1 angle measure and 2 side lengths in inches are given by the right scalene triangle below. Right, so we see it's a right triangle. We have this angle here. In terms of A and B, what is sine of theta? So I know sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, I know that this over here is my opposite, this is my adjacent, and this is my hypotenuse. I know opposite's always like straight across, and hypotenuse always the longest one, and then adjacent is this one over here. So if I'm looking for sine, I know I'm going to need adjacent. I know I'm going to need hypotenuse. I don't need adjacent. So I know A is my opposite, so it's going to be A over something. So I can cross out G. I can cross out B, because there's a B on top. And then there's this square root thing on top, so it's not K either. So I know it's either F or H. So if I'm just going to guess, I'm going to guess one of those. And actually, B is here, right? So B is this line over here. So I know that that's not going to be how long this one is. So actually, I don't think it's F either. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out F. The answer is H. Then you might be wondering, like, where the heck did that thing come from? That hypotenuse is this. If you think about Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. In this case, I have A and I have B, and then I have that thing that I don't know. I have my hypotenuse. So if you think about this, if I want to solve for the hypotenuse here, the opposite of a square is a square root, which is going to cancel here and leave me with just what c is, or the hypotenuse, is equal to this thing. Since we don't have any numbers, we just have to rewrite it. And we can see that that really is what this is. So anytime we see the square root of a squared plus b squared, we can know that what they're just talking about is the hypotenuse of the triangle. Right, so the hypotenuse of the triangle is this crazy thing right here. That's why our answer is H. But we didn't even need it to solve it, so all good. All right, for 23, it says each side of a square A, B, C, D. So immediately I'm drawing a square A, B, C, D. Has a length of 50 centimeters. So each side's 50. 50, 50, 50, and 50. It says a certain rectangle whose area is equal to the area of ABCD has a width of 10. So they told me now there's another rectangle, and it has the area that's the same. So I need to know what the area is of this, and then I'll know what that is. So I just go to my calculator. 50 times 50 is 2,500. So 2,500. This one's also 2,500. And it says that the rectangle has a width of 10 centimeters. So I know this is 10. Right, so then it says what's the length in centimeters of the rectangle. So we need to know what this is. So if I know that 2500 is when we do length times width, if I want to get rid of the 10, kind of like the backwards box, I can just divide. So I'm going to do 2500 divided by 10. That's going to give me 250. So I know my answer is E. Right? So we drew a square to start. We labeled its sides. And then we know that the area is the same. So we calculated for the area. And then we knew what the side length was for the rectangle. We could divide that back out in order to find the other side. That's 23. And then finally we have 24.